Hello, good morning. Welcome to Sunday morning coffee that we do every week now, kind of. Um, Thanks for coming along. It was relatively last minute because I was going to be at Mum's, but then I decided to get Mum to come to me instead. So she's going to be coming up packing for us next week. We've had a mega restock, and all of the issues that I had with blister packs. Keith Clam, the new guy, ordered them last week in the afternoon, came the next day, just like that. Oh, so we've got those. It's not like, oh, when will they arrive? They're here. Yes, yes. So Mum's going to be up next week. Um, so I will be here today. But it's also good because she's just got back from Cornwall, and you've got Jimmy, you've got loads of people. Yay! I like everyone. Everyone's back. Yay! Hey, Mum is there. um, oh, look at me. What have we got? Oh, so look at that. Um, Totally forgot where I was though. Um, yeah, Mum's gonna be up working. Yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep after this. I'm knackered. I'm not gonna have a little chill, but I've got a lot to talk about. Says yawning. Got a annual weekly yawn. But yeah, for the upcoming videos, I'm gonna try and get it scheduled in the week so that you know whether it's on or not, because it's not going to be every week because there are lots of stuff still going on. Um, but even if it's like every other week or a little cluster, just keep an eye on it. That's all. Keep an eye on this page because everywhere else's algorithms are hell. Um, so yeah, hey, I'm super comfy. I have my coffee, which today the mug is Pigs, my little babies. It's Sponge and Karen and Dave. Little babies. The little babies. So the main thing this week is what was I doing in the office? Catching up. I just feel like I'm catching up all the time. I was doing a lot of catching up, sorting sorting orders. That Yeah, posting orders. Oh, I finished a big secret proposal thing, so that was good. And yeah, did lots of boring stuff. But yesterday I went to London town. What? The London town, capital of the UK. I sure did. Um, so if you remember last week, last week's Sunday evening coffee, in the chat was GB Corpse who was saying, "Hey, are you coming to the Italy thing that I messaged you about?" I did. So I went and had a look after last week's stream, and went, "Let's go." So I went down to London for so every April 25th is the Liberation Day for Italy. So it's 81 years since the end of the occupation. Yeah. And 80 years of women's suffrage in Italy as well. So it was a woman-themed anti-fascist day, which is all of my bags. So obviously I'm going to go to that. Um, but it started in the evening, and I thought I could just go for the evening. I have been very exhausted, and London drains my life force like no other. Um, but I can't. But I also thought I can't do any like a heavy museum day as well, because I'm just going to be tired by the time the thing I'm actually going for starts. So I had a bit of a vague plan. I like putting things on a map, so I've been putting lots of points of interest. Oh, sorry, I think I hit the mic there. I've been putting all the points of interest on a map, and I got there, and I went, "It's weird not having a plan. I feel a bit quite like having a bit of a mission and like, right, I'm gonna go here, then here, then here, then I'll eat, then I'll you." Um, so I didn't realise it was so today is the London Marathon, and there was something footbally at Wembley yesterday. Just have a little sippy. Oh, that's delicious nectar. So as soon the train down was absolutely rammed, and then just getting off at the station was just like, oh yeah, I've not been to London on a Saturday in a very long time. I always go in the week. and with all those events on, it was just carnage. And I had a bit of a what am I doing in London? No, I hate this. So I went and I sought immediate sanctuary in the British Museum, which helped. Not the British Museum, that's no sanctuary there, that's also a hell zone. The British Library, top tip, right like one street away from St Pancras, lovely cafe. So I went and had a coffee and pastry there and thought, right, we can do this. So I thought the marathon was on the same day as Salou, but I guess they were just prepping for it because they have to close a load of roads. So maybe it was that. But yeah, apparently the big thing is today. Um, yeah, so that all the gamers can compete because we can't be torn between the two, obviously. Um, so yeah, had a little bit of a hideout in the library. In absolute nothing to do with bad Squiddo or wargaming news. I recently downloaded Pikmin Bloom and I'm obsessed with it. Mum watching, you will get to know all about the Pikmin very soon. The little fellas. So that was quite a nice little side quest, taking all of the maybe it was registration day. Taking all of my little fellas that live in my phone to London so they could explore London was quite cute. So I got to play a bit of that in my wind down bits. I've just been on my phone and sending them off to little. If you've no idea what it is, it's a bit like Pokemon Go, but more about walking them. So I was sending my little guys off to collect things while I was just sat having a bit of coffee. I went to the Welcome collection, which is a bit further down. Um, I didn't actually check out the reading room. I meant to, but I was still in a bit of a weird. So I had another coffee there, um, and checked that out. That's quite a cool. I've been trying to find sort of London third spaces, and there's quite a lot. To be fair, it's just always limited, and because it was just so busy, everywhere was busy. But I did want to check out the reading room. I don't know why I didn't. I probably forgot by the time I left. But I was thinking, I don't know what to do. I can't just sit about drinking coffee till 5 p.m. Oh, it was the half marathon. See, that's what confused me. I was like, I'm sure my niece did the marathon, but it's another marathon. So it was I didn't know they do a half marathon. There we are. Well done, Grace, if she ever watches this, for completing the half marathon. Here we go. See, you can show that. It was very cool. And then Mum would be quite jealous of my little London day because I haven't been for ages with Mum. We'll have to do it. I just did a wander around, and then I decided that my quest for the day, because I had all these little bits, and they were all outside bits, and it was sunny. So I thought, I'm not going to get the tube. I'm going to walk London, and that'll also be good for me because I haven't been getting out much. So I'm going to have a little walk. I had a mighty walk, so I walked so much, that's why I'm so tired. But most central London is actually walkable. Who knew? Especially if you're going to places in between, you're not just going from one bit. So no, it was okay. The bits I walked to. Um, what have we got? Gamer or runner? Yeah. Oh, and a Sherlock convention. That is totally just to confuse everyone. Um, so yeah, I had this really nice walk, and this is not just me going, "Hey, I'll tell you about my day." There is relevance to Bad Squiddo. Hey, we've got Ramshackle. Hey, Curtis. So the place I wanted to go to some places that weren't destinations, but because I was free and easy, I wouldn't feel like I was wasting time by not like absolutely maxing everything out. So one of the places, like plaques, are kind of one of those sort of things. So I went to 64 Baker Street. I don't know what that was. What? The place, the very first office, well, not the very first office, the official office of the SOE, which is the Special Operations Executive. And if you were at my talk at ChillCon, you'll know that they were the Baker Street Irregulars. So that's where the HQ was. And there's nothing there now. It's like I think it's a shop or next to a shop or something. Baker Street was nicely quite quiet. So I took some photos. I'm going to do a little post up later about it. Trying to take a selfie with the plaque in central London and trying to not get my phone swiped while I'm doing it. So there's a picture of me sort of like, and I did manage to get some pictures of Odette because I brought some minis with me, of course, for photographing. So I got a few holding Odette, and that was very stressful. Going, please don't steal my backpack, my phone, or my miniature. I mean, central London is definitely very safe. Um, Nothing got stolen. Yes. Um, this is my advert for London tourism. It's fine. You probably won't get anything stolen. Um, so yeah, I hung around there for a little bit, and I like imagining time, like time not being linear. I've mentioned this a lot. So I sort of stood around and imagining like people coming and going and having their little secret meetings. And obviously, quite a lot of the women that I've made the minis of may have been there, but you don't know because this is a secret. Um, and yeah, just the idea of it, I was like, that's kind of cool. And then doing that thing where I'm like, everyone just walks past. They don't care about the history, not like me. And then a couple did walk past and look, and that was quite nice. And I was like, oh my god, oh my god, so that was cool. Um, being a elite, just walking about their day. Not though they've probably seen it a million and they don't realise. So then it was getting hot, and I suddenly realised that I probably need to go buy sun cream. I think I got away with it. I got mildly cooked. Um, but I ran in a pharmacy going, quick, it might be too late, but I will try. Had another coffee. No, I didn't have a coffee. I had a juice. And continued. And after staring at the map for a while, so let's do it. Let's just continue this walk. So I'd walked from St Pancras to Euston to Baker Street. And then a place I wanted to go, but I was really unsure and I was getting a bit, is it a bit sad? Um, was I decided to go to St Ermin's Street. I think it's St Ermin's Hotel. I've just written St Ermin's. So I went to St Ermin's, which is a fancy la-di-da hotel by nearish the palace, or a bit down from it, Buckingham Palace. And it was where the SOE was set up, in that very bar. So I thought, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm here to photograph my little guys whilst everyone's there, like all, London people with the champagne, like, ooh. So I was thinking, oh, I don't know. Well, no, I'm gonna do it. So that was a much longer walk, so down that bar. Let me just have a sip. Hey, we got Rob. I don't know why I went, ooh. So St Ermin's. I walked past Buckingham Palace, took some pictures. It was the first time I've been. Well, I generally don't visit Buckingham Palace, but it's normally like wonder if the Queen's in. I went, no, she's not. Um, yeah. And Jamie said it was like that meme. Nobody realizes this is the original SOE HQ. Yes, we do, Annie. We're all here on a branded walking tour. um, so Ormond's chair spin mood now. So yeah, went past Buckingham Palace, um, and took a few pictures. But it's all loads of London's all like gridded off for the marathon. So, um, but yeah, I was like, I don't really want to go say hello to the king. So so I carried on. I'm just gonna choke. And I feel like I'm telling the world's most boring story, by the way, but you're here, so hooray. So I had a little stroll past there. It was nice to just have a stroll, to be fair, and it was nice and sunny. And I went to St Ermin's, and it was really nice. And all my fears went because I thought I just had these images, and I thought it's going to be packed. London is packed. It's a fancy la-di-da place. Um, I'm gonna get stopped by security the second I walk in there. But walked in with confidence, straight to the bar. Um, and there was no one in the bar. and they were all up on the terrace. But there was a downstairs bar, so I had the bar to myself, and the barmen were really nice. So it wasn't like jazz music stops and everyone in these sort of cocktail dresses, um, going like, "Who's this ruffian? Please escort her from the premise." So that was lovely because I got another sit down, another little rest. So at this hotel is where they say set up the SOE. Churchill would come and have meetings with different people. They'd all have meetings with each other in this bar. And they have got a really nice mini exhibition, just like little glass cabinet bit with the history in there. And there were some cool items. I'm going to send them to the World War II Grant Museum dudes that I met the other week, because I got really into all those little spy gear, and they had some more like the brushes for the jackets for like RAF, where they have a secret knife, a load of secret knives and things in there, gadgets, which was cool. So I went there, had a beer while I sussed it out, and was taking again. I'll post these up, taking a few cheeky pictures of Odette, and then I was trying to find out if Odette would have been there, and it said very strong chance because of the type that she was, the particular group of SOE she was in, that she almost certainly would have been there. So like, she's here again, I've got her here. So trying to stealthily sort of take some photos. So I got a few of those. And then I thought, right, I need to have a cocktail. I need to sit at the bar with a cocktail. I can do this. I have all these great ideas, but if you know me, I'm very awkward in real life. Oh, to be fair, if you just watch this, you'll get that idea. Um, so I'm like, gonna do it. So I sat and chatted to the barman, and in my head, I was pretending that I was a spy. I got a really nice, I don't even know what cocktail it was. It had honey in it, and it was very fancy looking, but a very not fancy looking actually, like sophisticated. So one of those sort of like wide glass, one big cube, very sippy. Um, So that was really fun. I was like, this is the bar. This is the bar that they sell at. Also, this is a really nice cocktail, but I have to leave soon. So that was really nice. I like going to the places. There's just that nice sort of aura or something. And yeah, with my non-linear time enjoyment, just imagining them all sort of passing through. It was cool, especially when I've got the models. Sort of like, it's you and you're here, but you're here in the past, but you're here now, but the past is now. Ooh. So that was fun. And did you sip it with a finger out? I don't think I did actually. It's normally tea that I end up doing that with. That might have been too out there. They might have made me stick out if I was low key in there. It was very nice. It's very nice hotel. That was pretty much to myself because everyone was out upstairs. But we got, yes, at least the fad for serving cocktails in a shoe or an 80s edition of Argos catalogue is in the past. I mean, I don't mind that. I'm down for a quirky thing, but this was sophisticated. And then it was time. And I had to abandon my lovely plan of walking everywhere because it was over an hour walk and my feet were a bit knackered by then, and I wouldn't have made it in time. It was whether to have a cocktail or to do more walking. So I had a cheeky cocktail. Um, Also, the man kept giving me olives, so I ate a lot of olives, and then I was concerned I was going to get this 10 grand olive bill, but it was free. What the hell? Like, go to St. Herman's, get a drink, and then get loads of olives and pretend you're a spy. Um, as you are allowed in hotel bars, it always just feels like you're not allowed. Um, Top tip. Also, very good for if you need the toilet in the middle of London. It's all about the confidence, the walk in. Um, and I do sometimes I pretend that I'm like the daughter of someone really rich, so I don't dress rich, but I'm actually an heiress, so I can just waltz in as I like. Also, Annie's top tips for life. So I headed to the other side, so I did get the tube and remembered how much I hate the tube actually. It's fine. It's just what I get frustrated that there's no way to avoid walking because even if you get the tube, you end up walking like this to get to the platform. and then you go, and then you try to get out of the tube station like that. So I might as well have bloody walked. So I was chatting to a bunch of people. I thought I was going to be late, but I was just on time. So the Liberation of Italy Day, every 25th of April, there'll be some celebrations. I think in Italy it's a lot bigger, but there'll be where there's quite bigger groups of Italian people in the UK and other places. They'll have these smaller events, and it's to remember and inspire and all the things that are good about what people did to fight the fascists and how you should continue fighting the fascists. And that was definitely a theme. And I liked that that was a theme the same way that the Hanny Shaft Memorial was as well. It wasn't just like, let's remember this thing in a vacuum. Let's actually continue what they started or what they'd carried on from, previous. So that was really good. So it was a whole bunch of people. I believe I was the only non-Italian there. I was kind of listening around, um, but it was. What was it? Sorry, I need a coffee. That's what I'm thinking. Coffee. So it was an evening of different talks. Different talks. Looking at the thing. Um, Talks, poems, information, um, singing Bella Ciao, which I was trying. So this week I've been trying to learn the rest of the lyrics to Bella Ciao, and a few people I spoke to were like, they're not gonna sing. They don't sing Bella Ciao. They'll sing. No, it's too popular. They'll sing the other songs. I went, yeah, you're right. It's like twice Bella Ciao was sang, and I was like, do 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 Partigianos. But it was very fun. So I found out about the work of Sylvia Pankhurst in Italy and then back in the UK, and there's a lot more I need to go research about uh, the union stuff that was happening around then as well. The main reason I went was for Giovanni, who may read this back, watch this back, who's GB Corps in there, and on Instagram. He was doing a talk about his grandmother, Giselle, and that was wicked. Her story is really good. He'd done a lot of research. He had some really cool photos and maps. When there's a map in the talk, it's going to be a good one. Um, and the work that she did after the war as well, women's rights, and the women's rights in Italy is something really interesting that I wasn't aware of. So it's just the whole how obviously you're under Mussolini, and then you're able to do all of this stuff as a partisan and in the war, and then like many places there's that urge to then return to the norm. So she was pushing for like, no, we can do stuff now, let's carry on doing stuff. And she managed a paper. There's so much. I can tell you all of it. And I will when she's this big. What? She wasn't this big, but she will be. That sounds like a threat. No, you know what I mean. So she's, yeah, hopefully going to be made into a miniature. I've got this week, because I knew I was coming to this, I've been cramming Italian partisan information, which has made me really want to do it now. But I'm doing the Dutch because I'm really interested in the Dutch as well. But I think what I'm going to do then is have that line to go straight after the Dutch, because they're such different stories, and that's what I've really found interesting, that how resistance has worked across different places because of the unique situation and the resources that people have got. So we've still got a lot of the undergroundy bits, but there's a lot more violence in it. So there's a lot more weapons, especially up in the mountains, going on. So I want to do everything justice. So I don't just go, let's do Italy now. I was about to swear. Throw it all in there, because I do want to do this, because I don't want them to be as random anymore. So the Dutch, I've got a particular story, because that's the story of the municipal register bombing and a few other stories tied in with it, and it all just and I'm going to do that with the Italians as well. So still, God, So I said I was going to talk to Alan this week. I messaged him yesterday. I went, I'll talk to you next week to begin the plan for this next load. Should probably breathe between talking. So yeah, I'm kind of fired up by Italian resistance now. What else is on my little notes? Oh yeah, one of the guys said that on the opening, he said, "Remembrance without is possibly worse than forgetting," and that was, I thought, really important because, again, talking back to that remembrance in a bubble, like it's just something in a parallel universe that doesn't affect anything today, is really important. And that tied in with the Amelia King miniature that I've released, where she was one of the only Black Land Army women, and there was a campaign that she started to get her allowed into it. And I've made a model of her, and that post went, well, it's so weird. You never know how big posts are going to get, because I thought, oh, this post isn't going to go very far because it's got a lot of text in it, and the algorithms like, oh, words, we can't share that. And it did, and it's got shared everywhere, which was really great. So thank you. But it ended up in some of the World War II groups that I'm in, and the World War II interest people test my patience sometimes. Obviously, not everyone, as I am a World War II interest person. And I've been musing this again about different countries, that the UK was still very separate. We weren't occupied, and I think it has led to this romanticized sort of thing because we didn't have people getting shot on the street. Um, people marching down and taking kids, that sort of thing. And there's a lot of dubious opinions of people who are, oh yes, the Nazis were bad, but I actually have Nazi views, and so I'm always a bit So it's always been shared and went, oh, here we go. And yeah, I was then reading all these people that are like, wow, racism. My granddad said that there wasn't any racism, so there. And they're like, this is all wokery nonsense. And it's not meant to make you guilty or be like, I am personally responsible. But yes, there was racism in the 40s. Yes, there is racism now. And I thought I had put in the post that, like, because I'd said something like it would be wrong to imagine that everyone came together to fight the Nazis because they didn't. Um, but a lot of people did, and there were a lot of. It's not like all of every single person in Britain was racist, but there was racism, and it was kind of cool that there were enough people that weren't, that could support and could get that ruling overturned, that she could end up working in the Land Army. But there's this like defensiveness where it's like, no, we were always great. We've always been great. I'm like, no, it's okay to accept the flaws of your ancestors. That's how you grow. But being really, yeah, it's just really odd. So that was a good timing actually for that whole, like, yeah, remember the yes, Jamie said it becomes less history and more national fairy tale with Spitfires. This is true. Which is a shame because it is my passion, but whenever I end up anywhere sort of, say, World War II interest based, I'm always like, oh, this is gonna um like, I think I said when I was referencing, I was watching loads of Lindy Hop dancing and old videos from dance halls when I did the dancing vignette, and the comments, oh my god, and it was just like, yeah, at a time before those. So yeah, that's the problematic nature of some World War II interest folk, yeah. Um, and I kind of was a bit scared of that in other countries, and I'm sure there is that, but I haven't come across it, which has been a relief because, yeah, even at the Hanny Shaft, I was still unsure of the nature of who the people were, and then chatted to them and watched talk, and it's very much like, no, we hate fascists then and we hate them now. You're like, oh, phew, I am at the right place, excellent. So that was a nice, inspiring. What else? What else I've got on my notes? And somebody I was talking to in the week said something quite interesting. They were saying how great I was, which was very nice. Um, I say that like, "Rah," but I'm actually like, "Oh, thank you." And he was saying about, "Oh, nobody really does what you do with the research." And I thought he was being nice, and then the more I thought about it, because he's saying about like the history of the people, it's like I do make that my thing. That is kind of my USP. Um, but I thought, yeah, actually, a lot of the, and it's not me saying I'm better, and it's just that's where my interest comes from. Um, a lot of them, because I then went and looked at some other companies and how they represent their war people, and it's all about the troop types. And I get it, it's for games, and again, that's perfectly fine. Um, Mine, yeah, I really do represent them as people rather than as game pieces. And it's just something that I went, oh yeah, I like that I do that. That's a nice thing. And I've had a few talks this week that have kind of just made me really happy with what I do, and I think I'm on the right track, even though sometimes it gets a bit much. I do really enjoy it. So there, that's the general bit of that. So I've got all my little notes. Mealy King, SOE. Um, so that went really well. I got to talk to a bunch of people afterwards. So I posted on on the Annie Instagram, the other one. Am I about to give the Italian consuls some pooping Nazis? Watch this space, and like, because I ended up not in the office on Friday, and I was going to bring like, some Carla Capone's, the Italian resistance lady, but I wasn't in the office, so I had to work with what I had in the house, and I had some of the new humiliated Nazis, and I thought that'd be fun. They don't like Nazis, so I'm sure it will be fine. It'll be a gift to remember for sure. Um, but I did not. But I did give them to someone else because I think I got the vibe. I don't know if she'd really well she'd have gone. These are exciting. Oh, the guy. Let me. So I think he was the chairman of the. Let me look. So he was the other mover and shaker there, and he was a really nice guy. Association Nazionale Partigiani d'Italia. Sorry to that accent there. The National Association of Italian Partisans. Um, so I don't know exactly. Check, but he might have been like a local head or whatever. But he was like the organizer guy. So I need to check out who he is because he was cool. I had a really nice chat with him. Um, but I gave him them, and he absolutely loved them. So I got some photos, and we were like, "Oi!" Um, and that was cool. So I did give them to a stranger. So that was the that was the goal. So I'm glad. I'm glad. And I feel really it's really nice being welcomed into other people's communities, and now I've got the blessing of the London Italian community, and the so like the Harlem Hanishaft Foundation people and all that. It's just really nice just being that outsider and being like, I'm not. I am different to you guys, and they're all just being really lovely. And it's that sharing. People really like sharing these stories, and that's what's really important. So, I'm hoping to get some Italian stories out to non-Italians, but also Italians as well, because it's still not talked about as much. So I've had quite a lot of chats this week about different Italian cultures, and then thinking, I wonder what the price of going to Italy is. But it will not be affordable to go to Italy anytime soon. It's I have to do field research when it's hopping on the Eurostar, but unfortunately I don't have a TV program with like the budget where I can just go, I will now be getting off to this place, although that's my dream, just to be able to be like, I have a question about Cleopatra. Off we go. Um, but yeah, so hopefully last week was a bit of a catch up, and then next week should be moving forward. So that's good. There is my monologue. I hope you've enjoyed it. Um, I was telling them about my resistance talk, and I want to see if I can do some more talks as well. I think I said I thought about like in Nottingham, the local libraries do stuff, and they do talks in like 2 p.m. in the week. So it's retired people, and they're quite. I think they'd be nice. So for more practicing talks, um, I think that would be a good audience rather than, like at a war event where people are mega clued up and like ready to critique. It'd just be some retired people like, good on her, good on her. So I might throw myself in the pen a bit with that. I'm gonna finish this coffee and go to bed, and I'll see if there's a chance to do the coffee on Sunday. I haven't got my calendar in front of me. Should be, but I'll check. But I'll aim to put it in the week. Um, Looking anything else? The analog. Amelia King's out. Poop and Nazis are out. You should buy them. The shop's been really quiet, so I'm like, please buy things. What else is new? John Morris is currently painting Cockman, so he'll be out fully. He'll be fully out once that's sorted. I've got a whole bunch of retailers that I need to contact, new retailers. So hopefully the Squiddo line will be out there even more, especially now I've had a mega restock and blister packs. So yeah, just that simple thing of not having blister packs has meant that it's paused my world domination because I haven't been able to contact more shops because I'm not going to go, hey, I've uh, I've got some stock if you want it, but it currently has no packaging. Oh yeah, North Star are taking the Resistance now, so they've got a bunch of that. Hopefully they've sold a bunch of Nazis. Right. I'm getting out of here. There's Mum saying hello again. I'll give Mum a ring actually after this from the horizontal of the sofa. Thanks for coming along. I'm really glad that you're all back, and I like reading what you put in there as well. And maybe see you in the week or next week. I still don't know where stuff is anymore. There's the end stream. Also, while my mum's here. Oh, I see. Mum put buongiorno, but it auto corrected the language. Yay. No way! Is that what that symbol is? Is this some AI crap? So there's this symbol that's been popping up on your stuff. What does that mean? No, because that's not different language. Hang on. No, I'm like, what? So kinsfolk earlier said hi, but it says this. Let's see what else I've got. What? I noticed this last week, and I was like, "What's this symbol?" Oh, they're the only ones that's corrected. So I think it tries to like correct the language, and sometimes it just does it by accident. So I'm scrolling now. So yeah, Mum's bonjour. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, yeah. But if when you hover over it, it says yeah. So it works, Andreas. It says, does it translate everything? That's kind of cool, but I just didn't know what it was doing. Um, yeah, so it just said this, and I was like, well, what's he on about this? Yeah, that's cool actually. That hey, look at this! Yeah, look at that. We got some Flemish in there as well. I can't repeat what it said, Kinsfolk. It was awful. No, it wasn't really. No, it just said you'd written hi with a bunch of eyes, and it translated it just to the word this. And I thought you were just agreeing with something like this. Um, Interesting to know. I was gonna. Oh yeah, whilst Mum's here, my brother Michael messaged this morning and asked if I want a gimbal. And I said, "Hell's yeah!" So he said he's going to give it to you to bring up. And then he said it's a DG one. It's a good brand one. So soon I'll be able to do cool stuff with the phone where you hold it and you move, but the things stay. I don't understand gimbals. So I'll have a cool gimbal soon, so I'm excited. So I'll show you what it actually does, Mum, when you bring it up. And I will also call you. I'll give you a wee break because I know Mum watching this will be thinking, "Oh, I need a wee." I'll let you go have a wee, and then I'll call you. Right, I am getting out of here, and I'm gonna sleep. Thank you. It's been fun. Bye.